Hey, what's going on, guys? Zach is back for another video, and today I'm going to talk about my last day at my job. If you enjoyed the video, please consider subscribing and liking. It's free, and you can always undo it. Before the video starts, I just want to mention that the clips that you're going to see today are from my Twitch channel. So if you want to watch me live on Twitch, just go ahead and click the link in the description, and I'll see you there. So if you know me for a little bit, I used to work at a job called Michael's. For Michael's, let's say, I think 6 months, which I think is pretty long time. That's pretty standard amount of time you should be working at a retail job. So I decided to play a little bit greedy for myself. It takes 30 minutes to get to my job from where I live, and gas money is very expensive. I was earning enough money for me to stay there. I mean, $9 an hour is can only get you so much. Plus, I didn't really want to work in retail anymore because the customers that come into Michael's in particular are very entitled, thinking that they can get whatever they want whenever they want it. Which was most likely to be the case in the customer getting whatever they want, because Michael's is very afraid of their own customers. To the point where when we see people stealing from us, we are not allowed to chase after them. I mean, it might be for safety reasons or something else. I am not sure. But in my opinion, I think it's the latter. I was able to be open about this stuff to my boss, which I don't know if it's really unusual, but in my particular situation, I was able to be open with them and honest. My manager actually came up with the idea that instead of me quitting and trying to find another job closer, I should just transfer to another Michael's, which I was very intrigued with. So I decided, fuck it, 2 tears in a bucket, I was gonna go and transfer to a different Michael's store. Obviously, I wasn't dumb, so I made sure that to know all the parameters, like, am I going to be paid more? Am I going to be in the same position? Stuff like that. Fun fact, my manager was actually friends with the store manager of the Michaels that he was sending me to, which was very impactful of me getting the job right away. So the date was set. The last day of my job at the specific Michael's that I was working at was underway. It was kind of bittersweet knowing it was my last day at Michael's. I met a lot of impactful people that I don't think I would meet anywhere else except in a workplace. But then a bunch of weird shit started happening. One of the weird things I seen start to happen was I have been starting to see stuff that I haven't seen before in the specific store that I worked at. Specifically with returns on certain objects and items. At first, I would just casually process the return like normal without calling my manager or anything. But as it kept happening more and more, I decided to come and bring in my manager. After we process the customer, my boss pulls me aside and tells me something really weird and kinda illegal. See, what's been happening was people were stealing from other stores and then coming to different stores, for example, our store, that didn't sell the products and trying to get a return on them. And this always happened without a receipt, because how would they get a receipt if they steal something? We have a specific card for non-receipted returns, so it's kind of like a gift card. So what would happen is, once they get this gift card from their stolen products, when we try to return them, they go ahead and sell it on a third-party site like eBay or Amazon. I mean, you gotta commend them for thinking outside the box. Then again, they were stealing from other stores, which, I mean, it didn't personally affect me because it's not coming out of my paycheck, but still, it's hurting the business. So yeah, from now on, after that one incident, I just called in my manager every time I didn't notice something that was from our store, or the guy didn't have a receipt, which I thought was fishy. After a while, I got off the cashier and was put on the floor, the sales floor, of basically putting stuff back and just helping customers around the store. Again, which is probably the worst thing about working in retail, is dealing with customers. But as I was walking down the aisle, I noticed something that shouldn't be there. Alright everybody, I'm going to interrupt the video for a short second and ask a quick question. Does anybody want to start a YouTube channel? If you do, I have the tool that's right for you. TubeBuddy is an analytical platform that helps you with your tags, titles, and thumbnails, and it helps boost your interaction on YouTube. If you want to learn more about it, please click the link in my description, and I'll stop rambling on and get back to the video. Sound was very strange and also very disrespectful. So in the aisle where I found this abomination, there's paint on both sides of me. So how our shelf is set up is that there's a shelf and then there's racks holding up the paint. On one of the shelves there was a couple tubes of paint and paint splattered on one of the shelves. The funny thing is, I know who did it because there's a couple of girls in the store making a bunch of noise. There were 3 girls in the store running and making a bunch of noise while I was trying to talk to customers, which I assumed were teenagers at the time, but they were acting like a bunch of kids, so I don't know what to tell you about that. I was really pissed off at this point because this is literally my last day working at this Michael's, and this is the shit I have to deal with. Eventually, I decided to go get my manager, not just because I wanted to get out of cleaning up the paint and stuff. I just wanted to see her reaction to the whole thing. I just wanted to see how pissed off she can get. After a few minutes of me literally watching paint dry, she comes over and I point out the whole mess. And I was right, she was absolutely fuming about there being paint on the counter. And then she started asking questions about who did it. And she was like, do you know who did it? And I was like, I don't know exactly who did it, but I have ideas about who did it. And then she goes on and asks, who do you think did it? And I was like, there was these 3 girls making noise. There's something about, I forgot to tell you about my manager. This was her last day too, so she was ultra pissed about having to damage these out and having to clean up that entire mess. Guys, I'm being very serious when I'm saying this, but she was ready to throw hands. Seriously. So when we finally close and the mess is all cleaned up, and we're just cleaning up the store, go back into the office where the security cameras are to try to get an aerial view of the whole situation. There was a slight problem. The way the camera was angled, it's not really right above the paint aisle, so we don't have a clear view of what happened. But the camera angle is close enough where we can see who came in and came out of that specific aisle. After analyzing the camera footage for a good minute, we found out that it was the 3 girls that were the cause of this whole entire mess. So we saw the girls walk into the aisle. One of them actually had their phone out filming the entire thing. But we couldn't see them actually pouring out the paint or anything, or there was no evidence on their hands or anything. So we couldn't be certain, but we were certain that it was them. We also knew because we saw them run straight out of the aisle on the cameras, which would make them look very, very guilty. At that point, my manager was beet red in the face and ready to fight somebody. The girls were lucky they weren't still there, or else my manager would have thrown hands. The good thing is that the whole mess was cleaned up and our merchandise was accounted for. And that's the good thing, at least. The bad thing is both me and my manager never got closure on that night, which was a bummer. But we got out of it alive, and it doesn't affect either of our paychecks. Hee hee. And that's the story of my very, very colorful last day. If you made it this far in the video, I want to thank you very much for watching my content. I know it's been a while. I've been very busy with my new job and some of these other side projects I've been working on. So my new job consists of working for the same company, working the same amount of hours, or maybe even more, probably more. And also, not dealing with customers, which is a very big win. Actually, sometimes I have to deal with customers because we are low on staff. But if you wanna come work with me, just let me know in the comments. Also, comment graffiti for views, or just graffiti if you're lazy like me. And I'll see you guys next time with another video. Hopefully it won't take months, or hopefully more than once a week. Anyway, I'll see you guys next time. Peace.